When I was a kid, my tennis coach used to say that life always begins with one step outside of your comfort zone. And for the 25 years that I've lived on this planet, I've wholeheartedly embraced this advice. Whether that's via starting a YouTube channel. I'm a YouTuber named Brown Tech Daddy. It's actually my legal name on my birth certificate. Launching my own startup in college.
We provide quicker service, real out streets to try out new options.
Or even spontaneously deciding to move to New York City last year.
Slow!
There's been something fulfilling about taking risks and stepping out of my comfort zone.
It's been a fun journey chasing my dreams, but the truth is there's been a lot of failure and sadness along the way. And a lot of times, the heartbreak from failure has gotten in the way and prevented me from taking chances. Overcoming this mental barrier required a mindset shift. A mindset shift that I didn't discover until very recently that I'd like to share with you today. As a kid, I had dreams to be a professional tennis player. I trained regularly, competed in tournaments, and thought this would be my future. But as some of you know, I ended up losing a lot. And I constantly got injured and even stopped enjoying playing this sport. I became a gloomy, miserable teenager and ultimately made the difficult decision to quit tennis and pivot my goals. In college, my new dream was to grow a successful tech startup. Freshman year, my friends and I launched our own startup, participated in numerous investment competitions to raise money, and even applied to startup accelerators like Y Combinator. Not only did we fail every competition and get rejected by these startup accelerators, but our startup also just wasn't able to land many users. Eventually, we realized it was time to abandon this startup and just focus on school and applying to internships. I was incredibly sad, but after I graduated college, I was able to snap out of it and pivot just one more time. My new dream was to become a professional YouTuber. Luckily, one of my videos went viral and got millions of views. But since that viral video, most of my videos severely underperformed and I always felt like a one-hit wonder. I became pretty dejected, my self-confidence took a hit, and I considered quitting YouTube as well. That was until my latest mindset shift, and since then, bouncing back from failure feels effortless. So what is this powerful mindset? Basically, think of your life as a comedy sitcom where you are the main character. If you closely analyze comedy sitcoms, the main characters often face struggles and are the butt of the joke. Remember the hilarious basketball episode in season 1 of The Office where Michael Scott sets up an office basketball game and is convinced he's great at basketball, but he ends up missing every shot and makes a fool of himself, leading to an inevitable loss? It's super funny because we're laughing at Michael and his incompetence. Sometimes I see myself as Michael Scott. I pretend I'm a Netflix viewer watching a TV sitcom that is my life. And when I reflect on my numerous embarrassing losses as a childhood tennis player, I can't help but laugh at myself. Michael's life is surprisingly not that different from mine. Some of you might know that later on in The Office in season 5, Michael decides to quit his stable corporate job to launch his own startup called the Michael Scott Paper Company. Things go downhill pretty quickly. The office is crammed into a closet, his 2 employees would rather watch online videos than do their job, and Michael brags that he's meeting with a potential investor, only to later be revealed as his grandma, who decides not to invest in Michael's company.
Entire life. Hey.
Watching all these problems in Michael's startup journey was very amusing. If his startup was successful without any obstacles, or if Michael was good at basketball in season 1, these episodes would not be entertaining. And that's because life is boring when everything works out perfectly.
Failures give color and depth to our life. They make it interesting and funny.
I used to be incredibly regretful about the lack of success with my startup and tennis journeys. There was wasted effort and time, public embarrassment, and let's just say, I lost a lot of aura, as the kids say nowadays. There was a time I was scared to take risks and pursue my goals. But ever since I started seeing myself as just a character in a comedy TV show, I started laughing at myself. My failures became a source of joy and comedy, and I started to embrace them. And if I can continue to laugh at myself and never take life too seriously, I'll hopefully always be able to bounce back from setbacks and chase my dreams.
I don't know what the next season of my life will be. Maybe YouTube won't work out. Maybe I'll find a completely new passion. Honestly, I don't know. All I do know is just because life doesn't work out in today's episode, there's always going to be a new episode waiting for me tomorrow. And even if life didn't work out perfectly in my past seasons, I know I can always count on a new hilarious season just around the corner.